Hello and welcome to another Paul Miller Trucking training video. Today we're going to be discussing how to do a load assignment using the PeopleNet. For the conducting of a load assignment, the two primary areas of the PeopleNet you're going to be utilizing are messaging and workflow. Underneath the messaging tab, you will find a submenu which includes the inbox tab here. In the inbox, you will notice that a single load assignment, that's a typical one pickup, one delivery load assignment, is going to have three messages. There's a load header, a pickup message or PUP, and a drop message or DRP. The load header, if we select that one and we view it, what we'll notice is at the top it'll tell you the total number of stops. This says 2 stops. That means there's one pickup and one delivery. In this section here, we're going to see how many miles are on the load. For a company driver, the only other piece of information you'll need is all the way at the bottom. So these arrows over here allow you to navigate through the content of the message. The arrow with the line below it is the all the way down button. So if we hit that, we're going to come all the way down to the bottom and we're going to notice there's order comments. Now this particular order says fake because this is simply a training load, but this could have information on your broker. It could also be, for example, one of our customers, we actually carry interoffice mail, so it may say mailbag, meaning you have to pick up a mailbag with this particular load. Once you've read all of this, you're going to copy that information down into your notebook that you keep on your person, and we're going to go back out to the main inbox, and we're going to go to the pickup message, and we're going to highlight that, and we're going to hit the view button. And you'll notice here at the top that it tells you that this is the pickup message and that it is a live load. This may also say something like hook preloaded trailer if it was a drop and hook kind of a situation. If the trailer number is known, it will be listed here. And then from this portion down, if we just hit the down arrow button, we'll begin to scroll down through the load. And you will notice that we have the company's name, address, phone numbers, our pickup dates and times. If we continue to scroll down through, you'll notice there's an area here for reference numbers. This would be like pickup numbers, POs, etc. If we have directions on file for the customer, they will also be in here. And then all the way down at the bottom, pickup instructions. That could be for things such as, see the yard dog for the bills, or possibly telling you how to find the shipping office, etc. Once you've copied all this information down again in your notebook, we're going to go back out and we're going to look at the drop message. Now you notice when I hit the drop message, it automatically slid up to the center position. So we are then going to view that message, and here it'll say live unload, or it could say drop loaded trailer, again in the cases this was a drop and hook. And then it looks essentially just like the pickup message with the company's name, address, phone number, appointment dates and times, any reference numbers, directions, and delivery instructions. The primary difference is the pickup message is everything you ever wanted to know about your shipper, and the drop message is everything you ever wanted to know about your receiver. Once we've copied down all of the information that we're going to need, we're going to take those three messages and we're going to move those over into our saved mail box. Now to do that, all you're going to do is hit the save button 3 times, because there's 3 messages, so once, twice, 3 times. And we'll notice that we have another order here. This order right here, for example, could be our backhaul. So if you get sent 2 orders at one time, you'll have all of the load information for both orders. For now though, let's just concentrate on the one order we have. So we're going to go back out to the home screen by hitting the house icon in the upper left hand corner, and we want to start that load. So to this point we've been hanging out in the messaging area. Now we're going to move down here to workflow. Workflow is the program that manages your load assignments. There is inside workflow essentially a chain of events for each load, with each chain being 5 links long, each link being an action. So a typical one pickup, one delivery load is actually going to have 5 links in that workflow chain. So the first link is going to be starting a load, and then there's going to be 2 links related to the pickup of that load and 2 links related to the delivery of that load, with each of those links inside of those two locations, one being an arrival, one being a depart. So essentially you're going to have a start, an arrival at your shipper, departure from your shipper, arrival at your receiver, departure from your receiver. Most of this is going to be triggered by what are known as Geo Fences. So if you remember back from when you came through orientation, all of our customers have 3 Geo Fences. The first Geofence being at 10 miles simply updates dispatch that you're almost there. The 1.5 mile, when you cross through that and stop, it's going to trigger the first event, which is your arrival. But before we can do that, we actually have to start the load. Now, starting your load, there's a couple of very important things I want to point out to you. Notice that all I did was hit workflow, and it brings me into the start screen. The first thing I want you to take notice to is over here you'll notice there are 2 arrows, an up and a down. This means that we have more than one load on this machine currently queued up in our workflow. You always want to verify your order number that you intended to start, and you can do that just by looking right up here at the top. This one, for example, is 424596. You're going to want to make sure that matches up with the load information you copied down from the load assignment in the inbox. The second thing I want to point out is don't actually start this load, so don't hit start until you're actually ready to start the load. So if your fleet manager sends you a load assignment on Friday for something you're going to be doing on Monday, do not start the load assignment on Friday. Wait to start it on Monday, because over the course of the weekend something might happen that your load assignments need to be changed, or perhaps you call off sick, etc. And we don't want you actually starting a load until you physically start it. So let's assume, however, that we're getting ready to begin this. So we're going to go ahead and hit start. We're also going to assume that the load numbers matched up with what we saw over in the inbox. For our training purposes here today, it doesn't matter whether they did or not, but when you're actually doing these, please make sure that that load number is the load you want to start. So I'm going to hit the start button, and that's all there is to the first link in the workflow chain. Now we're driving over to pick up at our customer. We'll call it ABC Corporation in Hanover, Pennsylvania. So I get within 10 miles of the ABC Corporation in Hanover, Pennsylvania. What should happen is it should automatically pop up on my screen asking me if I have arrived. If it doesn't do that, it's not a huge deal. There's no need to panic. If all we did was hit the workflow button, what that workflow button does is it always takes us to the next available link in that workflow chain. And so since we've started the load, our next available link would be arrival at a shipper anyway. So if we hit that, we're going to come into the arrive screen. We know this is the arrive screen because down here at the bottom it gives us the option to arrive at that first location. So we're going to do that. If you were in an actual truck using this, it should pop up for you automatically, and then you just hit the arrive button. Now, because we are picking up at a customer location, it's going to ask you for your trailer number. For our purposes here today, I'm not going to bother to do that, but if you wanted to do it, you would have to hit the reply button here in order to activate this form. So you would hit reply. If you didn't know what your trailer number was for some reason, you could hit save, and it would drop it over into your saved email. And then once you found out what your trailer number was, for example, from the shipper, they tell you that you're going to be loading 3V179. You could come back out then, go over to your saved mail, and find that trailer information request form to fill it out. But we're going to assume that we know what our trailer number is, and what I would do is I would bring up the keyboard and I would enter in the information, and then I would hit send. For our purposes here today, I'm just going to hit the drafts button so that I don't send unnecessary messages into dispatch. Okay, so we sent in our trailer information, and now let's assume that we're loaded up. We've done all the stuff we have to do with our e-logs to this point, and we're ready to leave. I'm just going to go back out to the home screen. I'm going to hit the workflow button, and I'm going to hit the depart button, which is right down here. And that's all there is to departing. So now I drive away, and we're going to say that this load is going to deliver in Richmond, Virginia, perhaps. Now, had I forgotten to do my depart, it's not a huge deal because we do have a third geofence around all of our customers that I haven't talked about yet, and that is the depart geofence. So if you forget to do your depart manually, once you get 3/4 of a mile away from a location, it will go ahead and do your depart for you. So now we're getting close to Richmond, Virginia. We get within 10 miles of Richmond, Virginia. That first geofence at 10 miles sends a message back to our dispatcher or our fleet manager, lets them know that, hey, we're getting close. We get within a half a mile of our location in Richmond, Virginia, and now it should pop up for us again automatically. Again, I'm not in a moving truck, so I'm going to have to do it manually by hitting the button, and it takes me to the next available link in the workflow chain, which is arrival at my outbound location. So I'm just going to hit the arrive button, and when arriving at an outbound location or a receiver, there's no information to enter. It's just hitting the arrive button, so it's nice and easy. I get unloaded. Of course, I've also done all of my necessary things with the e-log, and I'm now ready to depart that location. Once again, I'm going to do a manual depart just by hitting the workflow button, and then I hit depart. That load assignment is now done. Since my workflow button is still in color, it means I have another workflow assignment ready to go. That could be my backhaul that's waiting to be started. I could go ahead and start that now simply by hitting the workflow button and selecting start on my next load. Well, that's all there is to doing a load assignment on the PeopleNet. If you have any questions, by all means, get in contact with your fleet manager, and they'd be happy to go over these steps with you again. Until next time, drive safe.